Hello guys, and today I'm going to show you a chess video um, featuring one that has two queens and two rooks, and the opponent ends up with having at that time roughly just one queen and one rook. Okay, and you would think with a queen and rook advantage they would easily win, especially with given that they had two queens. But let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to speed past a lot of this, so right, this is where white got the second queen. And this was an experimental game. That was to try and stop the a possible checkmate. Although it wouldn't have been, yes. The aim here was to try and see if it was possible to get a checkmate by later moving out a bishop. But now you notice that black is down a rook and a knight. And also white has an extra queen. So black really doesn't seem to stand much of a chance here. Let's see what happens. Now this is basically, I'm going to demonstrate an astonishing comeback given just how weak black's position appears to be. Let's see what happens. Move that back a minute. So for example, check is forced here. Black, so white now puts a knight in front of the king. This is just moved out of the way because at the moment the king looks like it might be trapped. This is getting ready for checkmate. Okay, so here for example, even though white has far more pieces than black, black is now facing checkmate. Okay, that was a good move to try and stop it. Okay, and probably the best move to try and stop the checkmate. I thought they might go on a deleting spree and not notice it, but they did notice it. Now this is a strange move, and I'd rather hope that white would fall for the trap, take it, and then that would increase the possibility that later I could have some sort of checkmate or something. I don't know exactly what I was thinking, to be completely honest with you, but I just wanted that white pawn out of the way so later on I could try and get a checkmate, but they didn't fall for it. They didn't fall for the trap. So now they're threatening my queen. So I moved the queen up so that I could then take the knight, or threaten a knight. For some strange reason, I'm not sure of, I've just noticed this was an unbelievable blunder by me. An unbelievable blunder. They could have simply taken my queen, and I don't think I could have done anything about it. It was a massive blunder by me, but I thought maybe I could have taken their queen straight afterwards, probably, but for some reason they wanted to get me in check. Maybe they saw a possible checkmate that I didn't see. I moved the pawn up to stop it. They then took the pawn with the knight. I think they want to do some sort of forking check later where they move the knight and it in some way threatens one of my pieces. I don't know, but anyway. I moved my knight. Okay. So I could theoretically take their queen off. And, while having check. They cleverly moved their queen out of the way, so that I couldn't take the queen off. Just a minute. No, sorry, just a minute, it's just mouse trouble. I then moved my queen out of the way, check. I had no choice, I had to defend my queen. They then moved their queen out of the way, in front of my queen. I think they were trying to cause a queen exchange. Instead, I moved a bishop in front of their queen. They cannot move the queen because it's pinned because of the king. They then moved that up. I then took their queen. So now they've lost their second queen. They also used the knight because they thought if they took it with the queen, I could then possibly, I don't know, have a queen exchange, and they wanted to keep their queen. Now, I move my queen back. Check. They then moved their king out of the way. I then took the knight. They took my knight. Now it gets very interesting. Okay. Now they move a bishop there, probably so to try and stop me doing something. Quite clever, actually. I then move my queen up. I then move my bishop, so that it then means they're about to be trapped any moment. They moved the bishop, possibly to threaten my rook. Not too worried about that at the moment. They now have to move the king. I now take their rook. They then have to move the king back. Once again, I move the queen. I think that was basically a wasted move, but never mind. I then move my rook out of the way so they cannot take it. It looks initially as if I'm just moving out of the way so it doesn't get taken, but this is an incredibly lethal move. For some strange reason, White then decided to offer a queen exchange. They felt that I would have to move my queen or risk a queen exchange. No, I take it back. I would either lose my queen completely or I could do a queen exchange. I think they'd hoped I would take the queen off. And then they thought they might win via some sort of exchange because they had more pieces than I did, okay? Because at this point they're up a knight and they're up more pawns, and they probably thought with a lot of exchanges they could get a pawn to the bottom and get a queen. However, instead of that, I did that. Checkmate. There would have been other ways I could have got checkmate as well, but by simply moving this particular rook, which originally seemed just as if I was moving this rook out the way so it wouldn't be taken by the bishop. I was actually aligning it here for a checkmate. So what could white have actually done? Here I think they're basically trapped, because I don't think they could have... Could they move the king out the way? They could have moved their king there. I'm not sure if that would have even helped. No, they couldn't. No, they couldn't have even moved their king there because of the rook, sorry. The only thing I think they could have done would have been to sacrifice their queen. Because then, if on the next move I'd done that, or which is similar to the other one, if I go back a minute, if I try that again, well, I originally did, they could have then moved this out of the way, and then there would have been a queen exchange, because if they took if I then took their queen, they could take my queen, and then they could, like this, if I took that, oh, it would have been checked though, but they could have then, oh, I didn't notice that actually, that would have been better. I would have lost a rook, they'd have lost a rook, and I'd have been up a queen. Going back, but at least they would still be in the game somehow. So now I would actually have the piece advantage because of the queen. Then I could start, you know, doing things like this. Why not? Why can't I move that? Oh yeah, white would then have to move something. They could take the pawn. I could take this, and then I could start trying to chase pieces around, trying to delete as many pieces as I could using the queen. Okay, so but even though they started out with two queens, I would have ended up with the only queen, unless of course it later progressed so that the pieces got to the bottom and, you know, were converted to queens. Now, what else could have happened? As I said, they would have to have moved that. I don't think there's any other possible way out for them. Another way they can't take my queen because it's by rook, because with the pawn, because it's pinned, but they could do that. Again, I think maybe I'm just repeating myself, so I don't know. But the point is, that would be the only way I think to save themselves, but they didn't spot it, and so the point I'm making is, even though, going back a lot, they had 2 queens and 2 rooks, and they actually had the chance here to take off my queen completely, and they should have done. It was a huge blunder, and I don't know why they didn't do it, to be completely honest with you. Right? Possibly a genuine mistake, and I don't even know what they were thinking by doing that. I really don't understand it. Only thing I can think of is that I couldn't go here, and they thought perhaps I would go here and be in some way later trapped. But anyway, that's what happens, and so you shouldn't be too scared if your opponent has more pieces or even more queens than you, because their luck can change very quickly. Okay? And there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.